Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today we're doing an unboxing and rambling of Street Masters Aftershock, Rise of the Kingdom, as well as Lament of the Blood Moon. Basically all the stuff, or the new stuff, from Street Masters. Street Masters is a game I actually, before we do, a coffee shot, a knife, all the usual things. We will be diving into this. I am halfway through my coffee, making good progress. We will continue throughout this video, and if you are new here, this is an unboxing and rambling. That means I will be talking about Street Masters. I have played this game a long time ago. Actually, when I first started doing YouTube videos is when I first played this game. I will be talking a bit about all of that, a bit about who knows, probably a bit about Steamforged, about Blacklist, all the usual things, because these unboxing and ramblings, they're not a showcase of the game. If you're looking for that, this is the wrong channel. It is usually whatever happens to come up, and then, yeah, sure, we'll also show you stuff. This is thick plastic. We'll also show you stuff from the game as well. Anyways, with that out of the way, Street Masters is one of the first crowdfunding campaigns I backed way back in the day. When I started falling down the crowdfunding rabbit hole, I backed Street Masters Aftershock from, at the time, Blacklist Games. This knife is a little loose. I think I need to tighten one of these little... Oh, it's down here. Oh, the bottom part's loose. That's never happened before. I've had the top part be loose. I know how to tighten it. Either way, yeah. So I backed from Blacklist, Street Masters Aftershock. And I remember, it's such an interesting journey, because it's going to be a conversation about so many different things. It's going to be a conversation around YouTube videos that never saw the light of day, because I have had a few of those. It's going to be a conversation about Blacklist games. It's going to be a conversation possibly about Steamforged, and the sheer amount of Steamforged games I'm trying to cover right now, it is a little over the top. Steamforged has so many games that are both older games delivering now, as well as newer games coming to crowdfunding, that they're their own homework list and assignment in their own. We'll get to all of that. But Street Masters, this one, I don't remember everyone who contributed to my decision to back this. I want to say Mike Delisio may have played a part. I can't remember. Mike, if you're watching this, did you like Street Masters Aftershock? I feel like you may have, and I feel like that may have been part of it, because I remember deciding to go all in on Aftershock, hoping for an excellent solo experience. That was my goal at the time. And then, while I backed it, and had to deal with a whole lot of drama around the fact that, I'm going to actually show you stuff too while we do this, so let me figure out where, let's put this off to the side, let's put this off to the side over there we go. I remember dealing with a whole lot of drama, because Aftershock was constantly delayed, and constantly with excuses, and it was a mix of people saying, hey, something's wrong here, and Blacklist Games is just, stringing everyone along, and then other people saying, no, there's nothing wrong, why are you constantly looking for problems? Sure enough, down the road, there were problems. By the way, initially, I was definitely in the camp of, hey, things are delivering, things are happening, what's the big deal? People are getting their games, yes, some people aren't. I was in the camp of, there's not really problems here, or at least not enough evidence to believe there's problems. But I was wrong. There were clearly problems. Blacklist Games was definitely one of the companies that had problems. Anyways, Street Masters. So let's talk a little bit about the game. We'll come back to all this backing and stories and all this stuff. This is basically a solo or multiplayer experience that is often compared to Sentinels of the Multiverse in the sense that you have your characters. You have basically three things you're dealing with. You have your heroes, which have one deck. Well, each hero has their own deck. You have the enemy, which has their deck. And then you have the environment, which has their deck. So you have three different decks. It's the MDS, the Modular Deck System, which is what the Saylor Brothers called their system that they've used in Street Masters. They've used it in Rook City or something like that, Rook City, something like that, and then the hero game that came out as well. So they've used it, and then Alter Quest. So they've used the MDS in several systems, but the MDS technically was what Sentinels of the Multiverse did. They just didn't call it the MDS. So that modular deck system where you have a few different things that all contribute to a different experience. Change up a hero, change up the environment, change up the villain. Those will all change the experience you're having. That's the general idea of this. Although, what is story mode? Narratively linked stages. Interesting. Intrigued. Oh, Boba. We got some Boba. I think that's Boba. Although Boba usually is the bow on the bottom, so I'm not entirely sure if that's Boba. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty straightforward. The rules look fairly short. I mean, getting to story mode alone, we have up to page 16 over here. So, it looks like page 14 is where you really need to read to, because I think that would cover everything you need. You choose your fighters, you choose the enemy deck. You're basically just going through the system. Now, I've played Alter Quest. I have not played Brook City. I had Brook City, or is it Brook City or Brook City? I don't remember. I've had Brook City, but I ended up selling that one. I wasn't as... I was intrigued by it for sure. There's a reason I went and backed it. I actually went and late backed that, because this is the point when I was getting into crowdfunding. So I wasn't just backing things. I was going out and late backing a whole lot of things to catch up, which was probably a mistake, because you don't need to catch up. You need to try to stay ahead. I'm going to show you miniatures, but honestly, I don't we'll get to miniatures soon. We'll get to miniatures last, I guess. And the miniatures, I will say, I never thought the miniatures in Street Masters were the best. I got this for the gameplay, and the gameplay was solid, although I did get rid of it in favor of a game that I don't play enough, but oh my gosh, I do love it, which is this is Street Masters, which is Marvel Champions. Marvel Champions was the game that I decided to keep over Street Masters at the time. And I am curious whether that will hold true. I'm curious whether time will have changed my opinion at all. I still love Marvel Champions. I still don't play it enough. So I guess in that sense, this is fighting for a spot on a list of a game that I already don't play enough, which is a tricky spot to be in. But I am intrigued what's added. I am intrigued to dive back in. It has been a while. And sometimes I have gone back to a lot of games over the years. And when I do, more often than not, I'd say like 80% of the time when I go back to a game that I already liked, but then decide to move on from, more often than not, I'm like, you know what? I understand why I liked it, and I understand why I moved on from it. Like, I don't go back to games that I didn't like at all. I go back to games that left me with a sense of kind of almost like that I'm missing something, that I want to try it a bit more. This is well regarded as an incredibly, well, it's regarded incredibly well as a solo game, specifically solo. And if I recall correctly, my opinion at the time was that I liked it solo, but I felt that you benefited the most from the experience by managing multiple characters, and I didn't like the process of managing multiple characters, but then it's a co-op game, and I don't mind co-op, but I don't know if I have enough time to like commit to playing this co-op. That was roughly my opinion at the time. It was a little bit nuanced. I definitely enjoyed what it was doing. I enjoyed the puzzle of trying to survive, and I want to try it again. And in fact, this particular board looks very familiar to me. I want to say I played this map, because I played it like a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times, and oh, maybe it's this map. No, I think it was this map. Although maybe it's just all the symbols at this point, but I remember these spikes. Either way, I don't know. But these are basically the stages and scenarios. You have conveyor belts over here. Each one's going to have its own little rules, its own little deck system that will change up the experience. And again, each of these is its own stage. You don't link these together. You're fighting on, well, I guess you do if you do story mode, but that's a separate kind of conversation. But rather, you're just playing on a board. This is your stage. You're going to have your fighter. You're going to have other enemies. You're playing a tactical maneuvering game, which has, again, Sentinel's Multiverse, but with a degree of an actual board presence that you have to manage and be mindful of. With these little slips from, I guess, I'm assuming it's to keep things, I don't know, it's in there. Anyways, they all look very colorful. They give you a lot of gameplay. Like I said, we have 2 different boxes over here. We have the, I guess what's probably the equivalent of the Aftershock version over here, this Rise of the Kingdom giant box. And then we have the Lament of the Blood Moon, which is their newest campaign, that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Lament of the Blood Moon is the one where Blacklist is their final campaign that they didn't deliver on. By that time, I had gotten rid of Street Masters anyway, in favor of Marvel Champions, which is still here, by the way. It's also a video that never went up on the channel. Meaning, a long time ago, I filmed, well, there were a few things. I started this channel right around when COVID was becoming a bigger thing. I think I started it before COVID was like announced in any way, but it was right about the time when you heard about this thing that was coming out of China, and then it started to become a more serious thing, and then you heard about things being shut down, and you were like, that's crazy, but that's not going to happen to me. And then it happened to me, and every single person on planet Earth, basically. Well, was it every person on planet Earth, or was it just like most of Earth? Most of Earth got shut down, and that was around the time that I got this game, because I was in the category of like I was part of the last 100 people who hadn't gotten their game, and I was still like being like, it's cool to show up, and it did show up. The problems happened later, but while I did get my game at the time, let me grab these cards over here. This is like a giant. These cards are so tightly packed, I'm trying to get them out over here. There we go. Okay, we got some cards. I'm not going to show you all the cards because that would be crazy because there's so many over here. There's so many decks for all these characters. You know what? I'm just going to go back to front shot over here and just pull stuff out because this is insane. Anyways, one of the videos I did at the time, and I still have this video, it was a video of me sleeving the entire Street Masters while I had COVID. And don't worry, COVID doesn't stay alive forever, so it's fine. Like that copy of the game does exist somewhere, I'm sure, and whoever has it probably does not have COVID from me. Just, you know, stats and the way diseases stay in place. But it was a video of me sleeving the entire, or at least did I do that? Was I partially sleeving? I don't remember. I vaguely remember having COVID while partially sleeving or being in the middle of the process of sleeving, or maybe I just talked about it. Maybe I just talked about the fact that I was in the middle of sleeving Street Masters Aftershock. Because I have like a vivid memory of having COVID for the first time. I only for sure got it once, actually. I may have gotten it other times, but I only like for sure had it once. And I remember watching, was it The Cell? What's that video where like people are in a prison that's like this elevator and the food just keeps being thrown down, and the lower you are, the more scraps you get? I don't remember that video, but I remember watching that video while sleeving Street Masters Aftershock while having COVID. That was like a particular memory for me at the time. But all that aside, why was I talking about that? There was a reason. Oh, here's bases and dice and all this stuff. I don't remember why I was talking about that. Oh, that's what, missing videos. Because then I did a video shortly after of, I did as a Play This Not That formula, which is a format, which is a video series I have that I don't do enough of, but I do like it when I do it. And it basically was comparing Street Masters to Marvel Champions, talking about the similarities, the pros, the cons, and talking about which one I kept and why. That video, and around 4 other videos, I don't remember all of them, but I do remember another one was a Play This Not That with Cthulhu Death May Die. It was a 3-way Play This Not That. Cthulhu Death May Die, The Others, and Rise of Moloch, if I recall correctly. I want to say it was those 3 games. And both of those videos were lost in a series of like 5 or 6 videos that just disappeared. Like my hard drive had an issue or something, I can't remember. And then at the time I had like 5 videos that were in progress, and I just lost those videos. And I find it so hard to refilm a video that I already filmed. It's just a hard, like, I don't like doing it. I really don't like doing it. It's like you're trying to hit the same notes, you're trying to have the same enthusiasm, it feels a bit more forced, a bit more fake. I've done it over the years, like when the audio craps out, when something happens with the footage, I've done it. But I really, really, really don't like doing it. And for every time I've done it, I have also chosen not to do it. Like there's probably like 10 or so videos over the past like 5 years where something happened and I didn't film the video. There was an Onirim, I get a complete review of Onirim, every single, is it Onirim? I did a review of that game from the Oniverse. I covered every single expansion, gave my thoughts on every single, not expansion, the modules, every single module, really in-depth review. Lost it, did not film it again. I just couldn't bring myself to like go through that again. Again, it feels different when you do that. And so, these are bases, by the way. You have bases for the characters. These are nicer than the last time around. These are definitely a step up as far as the quality of these. But yeah, I lost that video of Street Masters versus Marvel Champions, and I'm still sad about that, because like I like that video. Like I like doing videos. I like talking about games and giving my opinions on the pros, the cons, the benefits. And like again, Marvel Champions is amazing. I need to play that game more, but I need to play so many games more. And Street Masters, I plan on diving into this and seeing what it adds, or like, again, I remember liking it enough that when Steamforge offered me a copy, this is a review copy, when Steamforge offered me a copy, I was like, I do like that game. I did try Alter Quest later. I never played. Speaking of the MDS, I tried Street Masters. I did not try Brook City. I had Brook City, but I sold it or traded. I don't remember. And then Alter Quest, another one I backed, and by the time I eventually got around to playing that one, I was not impressed with it. I did not like Alter Quest. I felt it was a step downwards in the MDS and the modular deck system. But Street Masters was the highlight for me from those games, again, having not played Brook City and having not played the Superhero. So from the 2 MDS games, I really like Street Masters. I still have Sentinels of Multiverse, by the way, so like, I don't know. Maybe between Marvel Champions and Sentinels Multiverse, maybe I just like Superheroes more, or maybe I just like those games more. I don't know. But we have our basically characters over here, so let's go ahead and show you a character. Let's zoom in a bit more because we're going to need that for the miniatures anyway. We have Aura Bakudan over here. I wonder if I can remember who I played as. I don't remember, but every character has their deck. They have their role card, which should be somewhere here, or maybe it's one of these. I don't remember offhand. Is it one of these specifically, or do they just use a deck? I don't remember if they have a specific role card, or if they just have like this series of stages over here. I don't remember the exact details, but you do have a deck and you're slowly drawing cards out of it. Now, if you've played games like Sentinels Multiverse, this concept will be familiar because you shuffle up your deck, which I'm not going to do right now because I want to make sure I understand everything. I sleeved all of this, man. I sleeved the entire thing. I probably played like 2 games, enjoyed it enough, sleeved it, then kept playing it, and then realized I'd rather play Marvel Champions. That's probably what happened. But this is a good... Whatever, we'll see. So, you're drawing cards from your deck, and those cards are going to be sometimes they're going to be one-time abilities, and sometimes they're going to be things that add to your thing. So now we have at the start of your turn, gain a power. So you can add that to your board. And we have like different fights and attacks and all this stuff you're doing over here that's going to power you up as you go through the game. Meanwhile, the enemies are also powering up, and you're trying to see if you can outpace them and stay ahead. This is not that different than games like Marvel Champions. This is not that different than games like Sentinels Multiverse. I keep forgetting the games we're talking about here. Also, I'm realizing this is going to be a huge problem for me to try to track what is up. Like, how am I gonna... Oh my gosh, we got this one over here. This particular pack over here is the Sailor Brothers. So we have the 2 Sailor Brothers over here in these packs, or at least partially in these packs. We're gonna have to see how to keep this somewhat manageable. But we have this is, I believe, Brady. This Brady and Adam, if I'm not mistaken. And over here, is this Adam over here? I assume it is. Well, here, let's show you the backs, okay? So this is going to be deck number 1. We have Riss, and then we have Axel and Riss, which are Brady and Adam. I don't remember which one's which. Oh, I'm not showing you the top camera over here. Axel and Riss, which are Brady and Adam Saylor, the designers of the game. These are their 2 decks, and honestly, they did a great job with this, meaning I tend to be very critical of putting people into games and whether it immerses me into the experience or not. These are well done. These are well done, and this is Gabriel. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just start sorting decks over here so we can talk about things while putting some decks out. And this one's going to be part of, okay, so we're going to, I'm trying to think how to structure this. I'm going to put these to the front of each deck. So I'm going to start putting decks out, and like so. Okay, there we go, and there we go. Okay, because I want these at the front so I can see the back easily. Anyways, but yeah, so you had this, I'm getting lost over here. We had the MDS, we had the Sense Multiverse, we had the videos that were lost. Oh, let's talk about Blacklist Games. So Blacklist Games, for a while over here, they had a lot of campaigns that were slowly getting into more and more hot water. Eventually they had the Miniatures series, which was supposed to be like something that would help save them to a certain extent, and that's the one I never got. Like, I backed both of those over there. I got one of them, which I had to pay a fee for. A fine, it is a fine. And then I had the other, where I'm trying to think if I want to organize these now. I think I'm going to be too sidetracked to organize these now. I kind of want to show you the, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to time-lapse this. We're just going to go ahead and time-lapse this. Okay, and we are back. So I kind of organized all these, didn't sleeve them quite yet. We are going to put them in their boxes. That was a lot, not a ton, but a lot. But I'm going to show you things. I specifically wanted to do this because I want to show you the art, because I do think the hero art is pretty cool. I'm going to show you very quickly some of the enemy decks, but I'm not going to really go into those because there's just back art over here and I don't want to ruin anything for you. But we have the Onyx League over here. We have the Brotherhood. We have the Cartel. We have the Golden Dragons. The Kingdom. Then after the Kingdom, we have the Naruli, as well as the Oni. And you can see some of the characters, for example, on this. This can be like a boss from that deck and all that. Those are going to be the enemy decks. And this is all in this current box. We still have another box to go through, which will hopefully be faster. We're going to tuck that in there. Everything still needs to be sleeved, but we'll get to that sooner or later. And then we have the environment decks. There's a lot more environments over here, a whole lot to go through. We have the Ashes of the Eternal. So we have the Ashes of the Eternal, the Cashed Out. We have the Compromised, the Gone Ballistic, One Step Ahead, Original Copy. I'm going to start a new stack over here. Out of Time, Poison the Well, Right to Remain Silent, Rude Awakening, Running Wild, Steel Memories, as well as Sudden Death, Supply and Demand, The Ceremony, and then finally Under Destruction. You may have noticed that I have been doing this in alphabetical order because I like that. Do I need to? Don't know if I do, but for right now we're going to do it that way and deal with the rest later. Let me put these into the box and then we're going to deal with the next batch. And I do wonder if the expansion stuff all fits into this box. That would be fun, although with sleeves probably not. Although I'm not sleeving this one until I'm sure I'm keeping it. Sure is a relative term, until I give it another shot. Now we also have allies and rivals. This is where you basically can have your heroes as either an ally or as a rival. So if you play something like, for example, ANZ End has the friends and foes kind of a situation, same basic idea where you can add things to make your game harder or easier using existing characters from the game. So you can use existing miniatures, good ones and bad ones. You have heroes and enemies over there that are shoved in there as allies and rivals to mix up the experience. And then we have a ton of story stuff. These are the story pulls for for the stages or the various heroes involved. So you have a lot of story cards and of course our player aid cards that will help you there. That's going to be all of that. And then we're going to lastly, once I get this in here, we're going to show you, I didn't even open this yet. This is technically the small pack of cards for loot, various loots you can get that will help you out. But I'm not going to go through those. I'm just taking this off. And then I will show you the heroes, because I think the heroes are where the solid art is. Let me just tuck that in there though. And then we have the heroes. We have a giant stack of heroes over here. Let's go ahead and show you them. So we have Ah Long over here. Now, by the way, I did find the hero cards. They were in a separate pack over here. So we do have the hero cards with their health, with their abilities. You can upgrade them at some point. But that's going to be Ah Long over here. Then we have Axel. I'm going to put these down face down as I go through it. We have Axel. That's going to be, again, either Adam or Brady. Don't know well. We have Brandon. That's going to be this one. Now, if I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure I've played as him. Like, I don't remember all the characters I played as. I probably played as one of the Sailor Brothers because I probably dove into that. I like the art. We have Clint. We have Dimitri over here. Then we have Gabriel. I think I played as Gabriel as well. I'm not sure. We have Jackal. We have Juan. We have Kimono. Kimono over here. Let me just organize this a bit more. We have Kimono. We have Kyoru. I probably played as him because I got probably strong general, Street Fighter vibes from him. So I probably dove into him as well. We have Max. We have Megan. I'm pretty sure I played as her. She has like a high kick, I think. She has this is like the whole high kick person. Yeah, I remember playing as her as well. We have Natalia. We have Riss. Shadow I don't remember playing as, but he's the kind of person I would. Like, I like that kind of vibe. Like, in the shadows, that rogue-like character. We have Tiger Azules, and then we have Ying Hua over here. These are the various characters in this semi-core box. I say semi-core box because it's like the whole everything. And now let's go ahead and put this in here. And then we're going to open, well, I guess we still have miniatures to show you. I'm not going to be doing a deep dive in the miniatures. Honestly, I don't think the miniatures are the best as far as miniature quality goes. I think they do the job. They functionally do the job. They're not miniatures that I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to play this game. They're miniatures that add to the board and help give you a more immersive experience because you're actually playing with people on the table as opposed to just tokens. To that end, let's go ahead and show you what they do have for miniatures because I'm going to show you them at the very least. But I'm probably going to do like 1 or 2 miniatures and then just show you the box overall. So we have our various hordes, and then we have our heroes. Those are the 2 boxes, hordes and heroes, although there is some degree of overlap. So I'm going to show you a few horde characters just to show you some basic enemies you're fighting against. And again, there's nothing amazing here. These functionally do the job as far as miniatures go, but they're not like super cool, super awesome miniatures. They go on the board. They get knocked down like you'd expect. Well, when you hit them, they do at least. We do have some of these acrylic. I'll show you 2 more general enemy groups over here. So we have 2 more general enemy groups over here. These again are just enemy mobs. The enemy miniatures that will go on the board with our little see-through over here. And then we'll show you some heroes. And again, I'm not going to show you everything, but I will do a run through of this. So as far as heroes go, do we have heroes in here? I feel we do. Here's that Megan high kick person. I don't know where Shadow is. We have, I don't even know who's who in this. I don't know. There's so many characters. Here we go. Let's go show you this. Oh, this guy's Dimitri. I think this is Dimitri. I'm pretty sure this is Dimitri. So we have Megan and Dimitri over here, if I'm not mistaken. Megan with her high kick and Dimitri with his back rocket launcher. I vaguely recall fighting against Dimitri, so now I'm not quite so sure. Was he a boss on a stage by any chance? Because I vaguely recall a scenario where I was fighting against him. But that might have been part of a story setup. I don't know. I'll show you a few more, and then we'll just do a run through. Again, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't think they're... I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're amazing. I think they do the job. They're functional miniatures that go on the board, and I'm happy to have them. But like, I'm here for the game in this case. Some games and miniatures make me want to play. This is not one of those games. So let's show you the full tray over here, so you can just get a sense of what you're seeing over here. There's the zoom in angle. There we go. And that's tray 1 of the various mobs. And then we have tray 2, which is going to have more of the actual, like the first few rows have some mobs, and then we have the various miniatures of all the various characters down here. So this section over here is going to be the in-depth of the heroes and I guess other enemies and bosses and stuff you'll be fighting. That's what we have. That is what's in the box for at least the core box over here. We've talked about Blacklist to a degree. I kind of started that conversation, didn't finish it. But basically, they had a bunch of campaigns. They finally had this football campaign that I hope somebody picks up because I kind of liked it. I had a chance to play one of the kind of like a Blood Bowl style game, and I really enjoyed it. And then they canceled the campaign, and that was where all the problems straight up were like, okay, yeah, there's problems, and it is what it is. Which kudos to them, by the way. Like, people often say, like, oh, companies are constantly just trying to take your money and whatnot. They could have taken money and then hoped to figure things out. They didn't. They like, we're in too much trouble. It's not hitting the numbers we need. We're just going to cancel it, and it's too late. We've tried redeeming this problem, and they didn't. Now, I'm not trying to give them amazing praise for not stealing people's money. It's more that when you're sitting there thinking that every company is just going to take your money and run, even a company that was in dire financial straits was like, hey, if this campaign is going to make it better, we're just going to cancel it and deal with it later, which is what they did. Anyways, that is kind of semi-blacklist. As far as Steamforge right now, so they have a lot of games that are on my current homework list. We have Helldivers, which you probably will have seen coverage of before this video goes up. Oh my gosh, we have more stages, more characters, more heroes. Oh my gosh, I remember there was a contest. I forgot about this. There was a contest to like name one of these characters. Anyways, so Steamforge has a whole bunch of games that I currently have to play through. Have to is want to, by the way, because I don't say yes to games I don't have an interest in. So every one of these games I'm interested in, I've covered them, some of them already. Like one of them is Monster Hunter Wilds, which Monster Hunter not Wilds, that's the new one. Monster Hunter, the Frozen what? Oh my gosh, what's it called again? Iceborne. There we go. Iceborne. Monster Hunter Iceborne. I have that I need to cover. It's a pre-production copy. But the problem is I have Elden Ring that I'm still trying to get through over there. And then we have this one over here. I recently covered a few of the other games. And then we have Helldivers. So four of their games I need to cover. They've been putting out a bunch of things right now. And they're all good games. Like I've played... Have I played all? I haven't played Helldivers. I can't say Helldivers is a good game. I've played Elden Ring. I've played Monster Hunter Iceborne. Both those I enjoyed. I've played Street Masters. I enjoy that. Elden Ring. No, not Elden Ring. Helldivers 2 is the one I have not played. So we got two more stages over here. Two more stages. We're a little zoomed in, but it is what it is. I like this. I like this grid situation. And then we have this over here, and this one looks fairly basic. I like again. Gameplay mechanics are always going to be different, but I just like the art of the grid over here. Then we have some miniatures, which honestly, I might just show you right away. Are these better? These do feel better. Some of these feel better. Like, I mean, maybe it's just, I don't know. A few of these feel like they are better. So we got this thing over here, this little blood moon thing, which I guess someone can go in theory. So you can have a character slotting into there, which feels cool. No idea what it does. But then as far as the characters that I actually kind of like, these guys have a nicer degree of sculpting to them. I do wonder if Steamforge like did their own thing over here, because these do feel like better quality miniatures while still feeling close enough. And then we have, like, honestly, all of these feel like a little better quality. Like it could be like this, I don't know if it's a sculpting, I don't know what it is, but they feel better. I like them a little bit more. Not significantly, because again, some of them are not necessarily better. So for example, if I look at, let's say one of these guys, honestly, they are better. These are overall better. Let me go ahead and show you these, but like you can pause and see. I think there's a degree of better quality to these overall, just in the general sculpting. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a bit more. But these, I like those red people over there. But yeah, it feels like the details are just a tad sharper. I don't know the sculpting on them. I don't know if it is Steamforged, or maybe I just have like rose-colored glasses where I'm like, oh, this is better. I don't know. Anyways, that's what we have. And then I'm going to show you the new characters, which means I guess we are going to go ahead and do a little bit of another lag over here. Okay, and we got our things. We have our stage decks. Let's go with those first. We did it a little different order last time, but we have Higher Purpose over here, as well as Snowdown. Those are the two stage decks over here, the two map decks that we got. Then we have our enemies. So we have 5 enemy decks over here. We have Atonement. We have New Brotherhood. We have the Nomads over here. And then we have Silver Phoenix, as well as the Empire. The Empire over here. So those are going to be your 5 new enemy decks. And then for our characters that we have, and these, you've seen the art already on some of the enemy decks, but we have Castle over here, which gives me strong Reacher vibes. I like Reacher. Reacher's a good show. We have, and a better book. We have Anya over here. We have Butler. So Butler, this guy over here, who looks a little Bruce Lee-esque. And then we have Caitlyn. So those are going to be your, let me just try to show you them, I guess, a little bit more so you can see them all. There's going to be those. And then we have the assorted other cards, story decks, rivals, all that other stuff. And so that's what we have. That's what's added in this, plus of course the miniatures. I do think it will all fit into the other box, at least until I sleeve it. If I sleeve it, again, I need to play it a bunch more to get a sense of it. But again, this was a good solo game. The tricky part is I remember exactly what I was comparing it to and what won out. And the thing that won out is a game I don't play enough as it is. So I don't know where this will go. What I do know is it looks easy enough to dive into from the rules perspective. I remember the basic idea. You're slowly adding cards to your row. The enemies are doing their thing. The basic idea is pretty straightforward. I just need to read the actual rules because it has been like 5 years since I played it. But that's Street Masters. Like, Steamforge picked it up. I don't know if I have heavily talked about that. I talked about Blacklist. I didn't really talk about how Steamforge picked this game up. And they are redoing, or they're doing this or whatever it is. So if you were interested in this and didn't want to deal with Blacklist, you now have that opportunity to do so. But we'll see. we'll see. I'll dive in. I'll play this one. This will be easy. Helldivers you're going to see first on the channel. I'm trying to think whether I want to do this or Elden Ring. I think I should do Elden Ring first because Elden Ring is popular and new. And again, I've already played. I just need to read through or finish reading through all the rules in that. But I don't know when this unboxing goes up, so that may have already happened as well by the time you see this. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing and rambling. And as always, I hope you have a good one.